What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with some hot topics, you guys. So these are going to be the hot topics for the week, the trending hot topics for the week of April 25th through April the 31st, you guys. So before we just go ahead and just jump into these topics, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then if you guys are doing me a huge solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out the way, you guys, without further ado, let's discuss what is hot and what is trending this week, shall we? All right, you guys, so we're gonna start up. We're gonna go in different orders, right? Because there's some heavy stories that I want to talk about, and we're gonna kind of let that be the next story that we talk about. But we're gonna start out with some positivity. So we're gonna start out with some Real Housewives talk, right? So the first bit of Real Housewives talk is that we got the trailer for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 15. The girls are back. They will be back on our television screen starting May the 7th, you guys. You know, it looks like it's a lot, right? We got returning OGs, Sheree, Lisa Wu, Deshaun Snow, and Wig, right? Not too excited to see Wig, but it is what it is, right? We see Kandi, Kandi in the trailer. I don't know who she's going at, if she's going at the new girl or if she's going at Marlo. We just see a lot of stuff in the trailer. The trailer looked good, right? But last season's trailer looked kind of good as well. So we shall see. I hope that we're getting back to normal Real Housewives of Atlanta, with the fun, the shade, and all that kind of stuff. I hope we're getting back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. The cast photo, they looked amazing in the cast photo. I might put the picture on the screen, but the cast photo looks amazing. The new title card, it looks amazing. The girls are serving, right? If I had to pick who I think who had the best cast photo, I would start out with, I love Drew's cast photo. I love Kenya's cast photo. I like Candi's. She had, the hair. I don't know if she was going for a Diana Ross-esque situation, but I loved Candi's. I don't like or dislike Marlo's look, but it's okay. Sanya's look, I didn't understand it. Monyetta Shaw's look, I liked it. The new girl, I don't know what her name is. I think it's Courtney. She's okay, right? Who else did I miss anybody? So we got, Sheree. I can't really say I'm a fan of Sheree's look. But yeah, Real Housewives of Atlanta will be back sooner than we know, right? Ugh. Y'all know I have a love-hate relationship with Real Housewives of Atlanta and Potomac, right? Speaking of Atlanta and Potomac, there is rumors that but I had posted this on if you guys didn't see a few months ago, that I had posted on my community wall that there was a rumor going around that they were casting in New Orleans, Louisiana for a Real Housewives of New Orleans, right? So that's been the talk of the town this week, the Real Housewives of New Orleans. It's, for me, I keep thinking about what I want from the Real Housewives of New Orleans, right? And I know it doesn't matter what I want, but as a reviewer, Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of Potomac, when it comes to the all-black shows, the fandoms are toxic. Even Love and Marriage Huntsville, right? The Love and Marriage Huntsville fans are very toxic because they feel, some of these people, some of you, not all of you, but some of you feel as if you have a real connection with these people and y'all will just go up for your face. Like, can't nobody say nothing bad about Mel. Can't nobody say nothing bad about Letitia. Can't nobody say nothing bad about Kandi. Can't nobody say nothing bad about Kenya. Can't nobody say nothing bad about Portia. Nobody can say anything bad about Nene, right? And over with Married to Medicine, Mariah Huq. Like, when it comes to the all-black cast, it always, the first few seasons start out pretty cool, right? But then once they get a few seasons under their belts, it just becomes toxic. Either it's toxic, colorist, it's just so many different facets when it comes to our shows that have an all-black cast. It just becomes toxic, right? And then on the reverse, if you have an integrated cast where there's, some white women and some black women, then you have to skate around racism, right? Beverly Hills has had issues with, they've had some issues with that with Garcelle. New York Housewives. And even with those all white franchises, when you throw in a sprinkle of black, the fans don't like that they show their racism, right? And Real Housewives of Dubai. I felt like season one of Dubai was not good because when we got to the reunion, you could clearly see that everybody, with the exception of one cast member, was against, well, not with the exception, all the other girls were against Ayan and Lisa, who are both black women, but you have the other black woman who was on the other side of the fence, right? So it just looked away to me. And I know that Dubai is currently filming season two. I'm not looking forward to it because if I do reviews Dubai, the other black woman, I won't mention her, period, point blank. So I've been thinking when it comes to the Real Housewives of New Orleans, I'm like, what should that cast consist of? Should it be all black women? Should it be all white women? Or should it be a mixed cast, right? I don't think it should be all white women because Bravo has so many white women franchises, right? Speaking of, there's a new show that's coming to Bravo the same night that Real Housewives of Atlanta is premiering. It's called Southern Charm Martha's Vineyard. My cousin sent me a text message, which I had already saw the trailer, but my cousin sent me a text. Like, this could be a new show for you to review. I'll consider it, you guys. Let me know if you guys want me to review Southern Charm Martha's Vineyard in the comment section, and we'll think about it. It's not a no, but it's not a definitive yes either, right? But when it comes to the New Orleans Housewives, I don't want it to be all white because Bravo has so many white shows on there as it is, right? Then when you think about all black, it's like season one will probably be the test season, right? But then you get to if they get a season two and season three, by that point, they're going to have fans and stands, and you're not going to be able to say anything negative about anybody on that show without getting attacked, right? Then if you mix it up, you say, let's just say half black, half white, right? Then you're going to run into bouts of colorism. Then let's just think about Potomac. Not colorism, racism. But then if you think about Potomac, if they get some light-skinned women, some dark-skinned women, some Creole women, whatever, right? Then you're going to deal with potential colorism. So I don't know what's going to happen with the Real Housewives of New Orleans, but I am looking forward to the Real Housewives of New Orleans. I just don't know what to expect from it, right? So while we're on this train of housewives talk, let's go ahead and talk about Eva Marcelle Pickford, right? So I think it was Tuesday that we found out that Eva had filed for divorce from her husband, Michael Sterling. They've been married to each other for 5 years. We saw their relationship play out on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Remember, they got married on season 11 of Housewives of Atlanta. Season 10, she was pregnant at the reunion. Season 11, she had the baby. Season 11 was her storyline of her getting married. Then season 12, she was pregnant again. That was her last season, right? So every season that Eva was on, damn near she was pregnant. So, she's done Ultimate Girls Trip season 2 and she's done season 4. But Eva, like I said, Eva's filed for divorce. They have 2 sons together, and then you guys know he adopted her daughter Marley Ray, whose father is just God. I do pray for Kevin. Is that his name? Kevin McCall, yeah. I do pray for him because that man has some issues. That man got some issues. Now, Eva says that the marriage is irretrievably broken. I wonder what that means, right? So then, Michael, he said he's going to fight for his marriage. I'm like, how can you fight for something if your wife might not want that? Just asking the question that I'm pretty sure everybody else is thinking. How do you fight for something if your partner is not in it at all? I'm just asking the question. But let me know what you guys think about the Real Housewives of Atlanta returning. Are you guys excited to see the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Honestly, I am. I hope that it's a breath. It's interesting, right? When Atlanta and Potomac, we always say the same thing about each show when they end, right? When Atlanta ended last season, I was like, okay, this season was just boring. Bring on Potomac so we can just have something different, right? Then we get season 7 of Potomac, and season 7 of Potomac was shit. And now we're moving on to Atlanta. Bring on Real Housewives of New Orleans. And also in the comments, let me know what you guys think about the Real Housewives of New Orleans. Are you guys excited for another city? What do you want to see from New Orleans? Do you want to see an all-white cast, an all-black cast, or a mixed cast? Let me know down in the comment section below, and we are going to pause here, you guys, and move forward. All right, you guys. So the next story that we're going to talk about is, you know who, right? So remember last week that I talked to you guys about the fact that he had put out a message that he was going to be arrested last Tuesday. Well, he got his days wrong. He got his weeks wrong, basically, right? So this week, the grand jury got together and they decided to formally indict the former, twice impeached, disgraced, one-term president of the United States, right? So shout out to Sonny for that one. And I know I probably said it wrong. Sonny Holston from The View. So Tuesday, like I said, it came out that the DA up in New York, Alvin Bragg, he, indicted who on the charges of, so if you guys don't know, the charges are from hush money that he paid using his campaign, using campaign funds, right, to Stormy Daniels, the porn star that he had an affair with, right? So, but you guys know he has so many other legal issues, right? He had the Stormy Daniels situation. He has the insurrection from January 6th. He has the Fulton County situation where he needed those votes to win, right? He also has those documents that they went to Mar-a-Lago and got. So he has so much shit that is piled onto him. The only thing that I'm worried about is him not being able to run for office. I'm just praying that he's in prison, right? It's so interesting. It is so fascinating to me that, so in my building that I work in, the building owner, I guess they're Republicans, right? Because me and my friend, we were walking around and there are I think there's 6 or 7 TVs, right? And one TV is on CNN, and so it's one in the office, it's one by the fountain. Then you walk up where the eating area is. It's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 TVs in our building, right? 8 TVs, right? So we have elevators. So on one side of the elevator, on the ground floor, there's a TV right there when you get out the elevator. It's on Fox News. If you go to the second floor, there's a TV on the second floor. It's on Fox News. And then if you go to the third floor, there's a TV on the third floor elevator, and it's on Fox News, right? So then, like I said, in the sitting and where you can eat, where we have a cafeteria, and right there where you can sit and eat, there are 4 TVs actually, right? 2 of them are on ESPN. The other 2 are on Fox News, right? So remember, I just said 3 by the elevator and then another 2, right? So that's 5 TVs that are on Fox News. And then you got one big one in the main office, and it's on Fox News. So that is 6 TVs that has Fox News playing all over the office space, right? And then you only have the one TV that is on CNN. And, me and my friend were talking about that, and it's like, see, our company, they just lease a space in that office. Because I was like, if this company that we work for actually had Fox News on in our office, I would have never taken this job, because that would have said a lot to me. But back to what I was saying, he got charged with, he's gotten indicted. So he put out this whole long ass statement, and in a statement, he said he got indicated instead of indicted. I was like, you're a dummy, right? But he wants to say that this is a political witch hunt, and that's what the right is saying as well. They want to run this off as if this is some kind of political game for, DA Alvin Bragg, right? Then they want to say, Joe Biden and his team didn't do anything. But if I'm not mistaken, if my memory is serving me correct, all of 2016, their biggest chant was lock her up, right? Talking about Hillary Clinton. And it's so fascinating to me that these Republicans are, even like Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham was on Fox News the other night crying about it and saying this is bullshit and you guys need to donate to him. And some of these MAGA people are dumb enough to, back him with money. Y'all look stupid and y'all look foolish as hell, right? So the Republicans, I just find it so funny because the Republicans, they go on Fox News, they are in the chambers and they want to bring up, bringing charges against Joe Biden and Hunter Biden for Hunter Biden's laptop, right? They want to investigate Hunter Biden's laptop, but then y'all don't want nobody to touch the orange man, the Oompa Loompa, and it's just hypocritical to me. It's like y'all are saying he's above the law, and he's not. No one is. And that's what's just blowing me. And they're talking about, oh, this is a third world country. This country's, we're in a bad shape. And no, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. Like, yeah, honestly, for me, with these Republicans, I just feel like the Republicans are just basically going along to get along, right? They know that this year we're getting ready with 2023. Next year is an election year, right? So a lot of people are going to be up for re-election in 2024. So they need to buckle down and be like, oh, we're team you know who. So if we're behind him 100%. So when you go to cast your vote in 2024, remember that we were beside you know who. It's just basically political fodder. It's them just, appealing to his base so that they can stay in power. And it's, my friend and I were having this conversation, right? It's so interesting. The Republican Party of today, and it's really not. I can't even say it's the Republican Party. He has a chokehold on the Republican Party, and I just don't, for the life of me, understand how and why he has such a chokehold on it, right? But the Republican Party that I remember, you may not have agreed with everything that they said and did, but you can find some things in there. You'd be like, you know what? They are good people. Are all, and I'm not gonna sit here and say there's some good Republicans and there's some bad Republicans, just like there's some good Democrats and some bad Democrats, right? Kyrsten Sinema, even though I think she's denouncing being a Democrat. But yeah, so my friend and I were talking, and we talked about the fact that back in the day, you had people like John McCain, Colin Powell. Although Baby Bush is what I call him, Baby Bush ain't the best president. He wasn't the worst either. Baby Bush, Condoleezza Rice, right? And that was really what we were talking about. Black people who are Republicans, right? It's nothing wrong with being a black Republican. It's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because like I said, you had people like Condoleezza Rice and Colin Powell who stood up when they needed to, right? Did they work for the best president? Absolutely not. Not in my personal opinion. Well, you know what? He's not the best president, but he is better than this orange buffoon, right? So it's like when I think of black Republicans today, I think of your Tim Scotts. I think of the guy out there in Kentucky. Like I think of those kind of people, and I think that they are caricatures, right? I think they're caricatures. They're Uncle Toms. They're Uncle Ruckus. They are the shuck and jive old type of nigger. Like that's what they really give to me, is the shuck and jive type of nigga. And I don't respect it. Because I feel like with the black Republicans, it's easier to basically go against your own beliefs, your own people, right? It's a situation of he's the good black, and those over there are the bad blacks, right? That's what it gives to me. But you guys can let me know what you think down in the comment section below. But I was elated to see that he was indicted, right? Now, I'm happy to see that he's indicted, but I'm not gonna celebrate until clink clink, he's locked in a prison cell and he's never able to run for president. That is when my heart is gonna just burst with glee. That is really when my heart's gonna burst with glee. But that's that. Let's pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So this next story, Jesus, it pains me to keep talking about this story. Oh my God, it just will not go away. Like I'm ready for this saga to just be over with, right? So we are once again talking about Xscape Actually, this week is mostly just Escape. There's no SWV involved. It's Escape, right? So let's start up with Kandi real quick. And I hope and pray that I don't go too long. So we're just at 19 minutes, under 19 minutes. So, Kandi, you guys know I told you plenty of times I don't watch her speak on it, right? But I did see the clips of her speak on it from last week, right? So she addressed the situation between she and Tamar, and I addressed it as well last week, right? And I still stand where I still have the same stance, right? You know, do I believe that Todd came at Tamar any kind of way? Not really, but I still stand where I was last week. I can't say how Tamar interpreted that. Her interpretation might be different from mine. Because if you say you know what it is, I'm gonna assume that you mean basically you know what it is. We don't rock with you. We don't fuck with you, right? But Tamar took it a different way, and that is on Tamar. Like I said last week, the issue that I have with Tamar is the fact that Tamar involves herself in things that has nothing to do with Tamar. So, like I said, Kandi spoke on it, and I told you guys this last week that Kandi's issue was never what Tamar said on Dish Nation. She knew that, you know, people were going to ask the questions. And like I said, Tamar's response when she was on Dish Nation was actually a really good response. Where Tamar should have stopped at was when she wished Carlos King a happy birthday, and then she said in her stories, my friend Carlos King, who ain't gotta steal nobody's nothing. I was like, oh my God, girl, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Like, it didn't have to happen. You could have shut it up, right? Kandi said that they did have some words. She said initially she just wanted to speak to Tamar and kind of leave it at that, but Tamar wanted to go deeper, and I believe that, right? I believe everything that Kandi said about the Tamar situation. Honestly, like I said last week, I just wish Tamar would mind her business sometimes. Like, minding your business is free as fuck. It don't cost nothing. You know, all of this drama would have never happened if you hadn't. Really and truly, none of this would have happened if you never posted that story about Carlos. You could have wished Carlos King a happy birthday and didn't have to, because it was shady. It was shady, and it was a slick ass comment, right? And then Kandi was like, you know, Tamar had unfollowed her. I don't know why people put so much stock in following, unfollowing. It ain't that deep to me. If you want to follow me, I'm just gonna return the favor. And like I've said plenty of times before, with the follow unfollow situation, just because I unfollow you doesn't mean that we're not friends. It just means that shit, bitch, you unfollow me, I just return a favor. We can still be good friends with each other and have conversation with each other. I just might not want to see your post, right? So that's that. If I missed anything, we can put it down in the comment section. Now let's really get into what we need to get into. This Latasha, Kandi, and Tamika situation, right? So you guys remember last week that Latasha did the video where she was talking about, you know, Kandi singing. And Kandi was like, you know, for us to be group members and we make money together, you of all people should not be making fun of my voice. Like, we work together. She's like, I could say, you know, here you go, Tasha, with these old tied runs. It's not like I ain't never thought of it before. I was like, oh, the gloves are off, right? So that was that. It just, honestly, with this Escape at SWV show, I knew from the jump that this show was not going to be a good idea. More specifically, because of the issues that Escape have with each other, right? This show, I feel like these ladies need to get off. You know, once this show wraps up next Sunday, I just think it's time to call it quits, right? Don't do any more reality shows with each other unless you ladies literally sit down with a therapist and just figure out what the issues are, right? First, Tamika and Latasha need to sit down and have a conversation with a therapist. Then all of them need to sit down with a therapist and just work through the kinks, right? This is stuff that happened from when they were teenagers. And I know everybody wants to say, oh, Latasha was the problem. Latasha was the problem. I think that yes, Latasha may have contributed to it, right? But nobody's 100% innocent. Nobody's innocent in this situation. I think that, you know, maybe, because let's just say this, right? Yes, everybody has made Kandi to be out the victim for years, right? I mean, not the victim, but the villain for years. And she's not, right? But we can't discount what Latasha may have felt back in the 90s. So just because we see this show, we cannot discount how Latasha may have felt in response to Kandi. Like, we just can't do that. And I think that's one of my issues is everybody's so team Kandi, team Kandi, team Kandi. And again, I tweeted this. I like Kandi, right? I do. I really do like Kandi. But the thing for me is that Team Kandi just kind of takes it. Sometimes I feel like they take it too far, right? Like they come at Lily, they come at everybody who says something negative about her, and it's like, wow, that y'all are literally some Team Kandi literally gives Swarm, like y'all are giving Swarm, like how that girl was attacking anybody who didn't like Naja. That is what Team Kandi gives, right? If you say anything negative about Kandi, they're gonna come after you, and it's just like it ain't that deep, right? So then I forget which day this was, but somebody sent me a DM of, I think it was Tracy. Tracy sent me a DM from about Tamika, and she posted a video. I was like, oh my God. It just this I'm like, this is just getting worse and worse and worse, right? So Tamika put out, like, I think it's an 18-minute video, and I watched the full video. Oh, Jesus. This is where it got really dicey for me. And I believe, and honest to God, I believe everything that Tamika said in her video. I do. I 100% believe her, right? So it's back to we're still talking about the $30,000. We're talking about the Tasha K phone call that Rocky had, right? So remember I said last week how when he talked to Tasha K, he was talking in circles. He was lying. He was talking in circles. And I'm like, Rocky, you think the thing with Rocky is Rocky thinks he's smarter than the average person, right? And Rocky thinks that he can talk his way around things. And I was like, number one, in that phone call with Tasha K, you admitted that you did cheat on Latasha. Then you did admit that y'all cashed that girl's check, right? Because you said that Tasha wrote the song, so Tamika knew that money was for her. But then you said they got the girls mixed up, right? So, also in that phone call with Tasha K, he was talking about the fact that Todd got caught sucking a trans woman's penis. I was like, say what now? Okay. So Tamika in her video was basically like, it's so interesting. That's everything that Rocky said in that phone call with Tasha K. So she got a text message from someone, from a number that she didn't know, right? And in the text message, basically they were like, so if you don't apologize to your mama and your sister, we got a sex tape of you, and we will release that and embarrass you and your family and your kids, right? I was like, why would you drag her children into it? Her children have done nothing to you, right? So then they were also talking about the fact that she sent Rocky naked pictures of her. Then again, like I said, the thing about Todd sucking the trans woman's dick. So Tamika talked about the sex tape, right? And I think that this is shady, shisty, and dirty as fuck, right? So she did a sex tape. I believe she said she did a sex tape when she was in her 20s, right? And she said, she did it because hell, she gave it to Tamika because, not Tamika, but Latasha, because she thought she looked good in the video, and if she wanted to watch it, she would just go get it from her sister, right? So she said that Latasha told her at one point that the tape was gone. It was in her safe. And so she said, well, who besides you had access to the safe? She said, oh, well, Rocky. So the tape just miraculously disappeared, right? But then in this text message, y'all are threatening to release said sex tape. What? How could you do that to your own sisters? Just mind-blowing to me and bizarre and baffling, right? So then she also talked about the $30,000. And mind you, she said it was more than just $30,000. What really pissed me off is the fact that Tamika is paying taxes on that damn money that she never got. And I'm like, shit, girl. I would have turned them motherfuckers in, right? So Tamika basically just ran down all the proof that she had, right? So she showed a video of her and Miss Diane, who is Tiny's mom, right? So Miss Diane sounded, and Candy even talked about this in the previous speak on it, where Miss Diane signed them up for something where they still get royalties from it, right? Still get royalties from the music, right? And so all the girls had each other's, social security number, passports, anything that they need, right? They all had access to it. It's a little scary when you think about it. Like, I don't know if I trust people that I don't know if I trust people that much to have my social security number and my passports, but I mean, since they are group members, I guess you can, I guess. But with somebody like a Rocky, hell no, right? So what happened is, so Tamika was living in New York at the time, but the checks were going to Tasha and Rocky's house, right? So the checks were endorsed with Tamika's name on it, but Tamika says that that's not her signature. And then at the bottom, you can see, I think it said Edward Bivens, right? Remember, now Rocky, he said, in that phone call with Tasha K, I can't cash nobody's check that ain't mine. Yes, the fuck you can. You can, because I've done it I've done it with my mom, right? When my mom was living, I would text, if she would say, put it in your account and keep it, like I've done it with my mom before, and I've done it vice versa. We've done it vice versa. Like before I even, actually, but we did it vice versa. Before I even got my first checking account, we would put my money from my jobs into her checking account. So yeah, it's definitely something that you can do. Like, you can do that. I mean, with my grandmother, we would do. I mean, I could go and cash my grandmother's check with, So it's you can do it. You can do it. Like, it's not hard to do. It's not, So yeah, you can definitely put somebody's check into your account, and definitely can do it. So that was bullshit, and that was a lie when he said that. Like, okay, Mr. Rocky, but set yourself off. But the thing, like I said, that blew me is the fact that when she said, and she showed all the documents. So, like I said, I really 100% believe Tamika. Oh, God, like I said, with this show, honestly, this show was not a good idea. Looking at it in hindsight, it wasn't a good idea. I think it's exacerbated some of the issues that were previously in this group. And like I said, once this show is a wrap, I think that they need to all sit down with a therapist and get some help, because there are a lot of underlying issues with each one of them. It's not just one person. I think there's issues with all of them going around. And I just want them to sit down with somebody and just talk the shit out. That's all I want. I don't want, and I see a lot of people who say they want a season 2 of this show, right? The show has been good for, my friend and I were talking about this as well. The show has been good for, a lot of bloggers, a lot of YouTubers, right? Because it gives it gives everybody so much content to talk about. People go live, people make videos about everything that's happening with them, right? And it's good for us as YouTubers, although I just talk about it in Hot Topics, right? I don't make specific videos about it, but it is good I see some of my counterparts who are on YouTube, and I see a lot of them that I rock with, right? That are doing videos, and I'm like, y'all are making the money, and I can't hate on that, right? But for me, I just can't sit and talk about this shit all day, every day. But like I said, I don't think there should be a season 2 of this show, even though it's a limited series, right? But I don't think they should do this again. Like I said, the girls of Escape need to go get some therapy. They need to sit down with the impartial third party. No Dr. Jeff, no Dr. Sherry. Get somebody that is reputable. Hell, go to Iyanla. I don't know. But y'all got some issues that y'all need to work through, because it is just not a good look. But let me know what you guys think about all of that. And we're going to pause here and we're going to move forward. All right, you guys. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is this school shooting that happened, I believe, out there in Nashville, you guys. at a Christian school. It's this. I don't even know how many they've said, but I don't know how many mass shootings there have been this year. I know it's more mass shootings than there have been days in this year already, and that is just crazy to think about it, right? So this young lady by the name of Audrey or Aubrey, I can't remember what her name is. It's not important, to be quite honest with you. So she went to this school, and I saw the video. I didn't want to see. The thing was, I didn't want to see any other videos, but I think I was watching Good Morning. I think it was on Good Morning America. They showed her as she just drove through the gates and went in there, and then she started shooting out the glass, and I was like, oh my God. The one thing that I will say, this situation, there are three children who died, and there are three adults who were killed as well, right? And it's sad all the way around that anybody had to lose their lives, and also the young lady, she was killed as well, right? And I see so many people. This is the thing that's kind of, really upsetting me, because people want to attack the trans community because she was a trans. Now I don't know if she was a trans woman or if she was a trans man, but I know she was a transgender person, right? So it's just bothering. I don't know if she was. I don't know what she was. When you look at the pictures of her, she looks like she might have transitioned from female to male, or she might have been transitioning from male to female. I don't know. It's irrelevant at this point, but I don't like the fact that people are attacking the trans community because of this. It's just like if someone who looks like me goes and commits a mass shooting, are you going to blame every black? Are you going to come at every black person? So, and it's not even. It's the side that I see really attacking her and the trans community is the right side, right? The Republicans, the right-wing media. They're the ones that are making these narratives about the trans community, and I just don't agree with it. I don't like it. It's low-hanging fruit, right? So back to what I was saying. With this situation, they didn't do what the Uvalde Police Department did, right? You guys remember the Uvalde Police Department went in there and let that boy just massacre, just slaughter those children. This situation was a lot different, right? They got in there, they were able to take her down, right? It's just, I don't know what needs to happen in the U.S., right? Because she did have a handgun, but she also had some assault rifles. And I think that's just my problem when it comes to the gun laws. People want to say, oh, you can't take my guns. You can't take my guns. Nobody wants to take anybody's guns. That's not what we say. We want stricter gun laws, right? A person who has mental illness, and that's the one thing that they want to keep talking about. It's mental illness. It's mental illness. Okay. Someone who is a red flag should not be able to get an assault rifle. On top of that, what does anybody need with an assault rifle if you're not in the military, right? If you're not in the military, what do you, a regular civilian, need with an assault rifle? Like an assault rifle that is supposed to cause mass destruction. What do you need with it? And I don't know what needs to be done in this country. I really don't. Like, the Republicans are so deep in the NRA's pocket. Well, no, they're so deep in their pockets, right? That they go against their own self-interest sometimes. And I think, they want to send up prayers and whatnot when things like this happen. But your prayers are doing nothing without any kind of resolve, any kind of action. It's just lip service. It's just words at that point. So what does that help? If you want to make change, make legislative change. Again, at this point, I don't know what the legislative change could be, but something needs to be done to stop this, right? Mass shootings, like it's just getting out of hand. every time you turn, it's like almost every time you turn on the TV, and it's the same thing. We keep saying the same thing over and over. Where can you be safe at? You can't go to church. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't go to the club. You can't go to the mall. You can't go any damn where in this country and feel completely safe. And that is barbaric. That is terrifying. That is asinine. That is chaotic. That is so many other words. Like, I just don't get where we are in this country, right? I don't get it. Like, I pray for I really do pray for our country, because it just, it just doesn't look good. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, right? Like, I don't understand, again, I just don't understand what the true need for an AR style assault rifle. I don't understand it. Even when you're going hunting, like, you ain't finna hunt no deer with brrr, like, you're not finna blast a flat jammy in no damn deer. Yes, you're gonna shoot a deer, but you're gonna have your hunting rifle and you're gonna be looking for it to shoot it. You're not gonna be looking to it just to shoot it up with bullets. So I don't understand the whole need for it. But that's really all I got. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And we're gonna pause here and move over to I guess this will be the last story for the week, guys. All right, you guys. So this story right here, when I saw this, it kind of pains me to see this story. So Jonathan Majors, he's been Hollywood's it boy, right? He is in the Creed movie. He is in Ant-Man and the Wasp. We know him from Lovecraft Country. He is right now, he has been Hollywood's it boy, right? He's been right alongside Michael B. Jordan, right? They were at the Oscars. He's been on photo shoots, right? So I think it was Sunday when this information came out, right? So him and his girlfriend, now I know I saw a lot of people saying, what is she? Is she or is she? I was like, y'all never saw that girl, right? I actually saw them on the red carpet. I can't remember where I saw them at, but they were on the red carpet together, and I knew she was a white woman, right? And I feel like, I thought they might try to, they're going to make an example of him, right? Ugh. This right here is going to be a huge blemish on his career. Like, look at Chris Brown. Chris Brown has not been able to live down what happened with him and Rihanna. Michael Vick has not been able to live down, the dog situation, right? So I don't know why. So the story is that Jonathan Majors and his girlfriend, they were in the back of a cab or a taxi, right? And his phone went off and she asked him who was it, and allegedly it was another girl texting him. And so I guess she went to go grab the phone, and he slapped her and strangled her in the back of the cab or Uber, and he got arrested, right? So it's interesting because his lawyers are now saying that she's recanted her statement. Now, I can't find anywhere where she recanted her statement, so I don't know if that's true or not, but they're saying that she recanted her statement and that she admitted that she was the one who initiated the whole altercation with him. Again, I don't know that to be true. This is going to be all alleged. I'm not speaking that this is our facts, right? But then I saw that his attorneys put out text messages that they thought would clear him. I was like, what kind of attorneys does he have on his team? Because why would you do that? Because I mean, anybody would look at that and be like, oh, you're trying to blame the alleged victim. And I was just like, I would literally, if I was not, I'm about to say Michael B. Jordan, if I was Jonathan Majors, I would fire them, because that just comes off a little bit incompetent, right? Like, this hadn't even and if this goes to a trial, that ain't gonna look good. Jesus the Christ. Like, he's not even at the height of his career at this point, right? Why would you do something so stupid? Like that was dumb. Why if you and her are in the back of the Uber or a cab and you get a text message from another woman and she wants to know who it is, tell her first of all, if you don't want to tell her who it is, be like, that ain't your business. And then when she reaches over to try to grab your phone, be like, hey, you know, stop, leave me alone, right? If it escalates from there, you need to tell that Uber or that cab, like, hey, bro, or ma'am, can you pull over the car right now? Because either she finna get out or I'm finna get out. Because what we not about to do is we not finna go back and forth and have a fight with each other. And then I'm gonna end up in jail and they gonna label me as the aggressive black man and, an abuser. Now, let white Hollywood tell it. They already knew this about Jonathan, that he was this person. And, without any proof or evidence, it's kind of just basically it's hearsay, right? Do I believe it? I really don't know. You can never say yes or no because we don't know these people. We only know what people show us on social media and what we see on these TV shows, which he's acting. So I can't really say 100% yes or no if I believe this, right? But if he did it, then you gotta, take the consequences. And honestly, I think that's gonna be your career first and foremost, on top of whatever, if they charge you, whatever repercussions come from that. And then after those repercussions, you got to think about your career. And if this is not true, and we're just saying allegedly, if this is not true, right? If this isn't true, it still doesn't look well for your career because, like I said about Chris Brown and Michael Vick, even though they have done so much, especially with Michael Vick when he got out of prison, he tried to repair his image, but it was already tarnished. It was already tarnished. So I'm gonna wish him luck, but I don't know how that's gonna work out for him, right? But those are all the stories that I got. Actually, I did have one other story that I want to talk about. Do we want to talk about it in Hot Topics? Yeah. Let's pause here and we're gonna wrap up officially with this next story. All right, you guys. So this next story that I'm officially wrapping Hot Topics up with, it's a story that we've been talking about for the last few weeks, right? Real Housewives, and I should have put it with the other stuff with the Real Housewives, but Real Housewives of Potomac, you guys. So we know that Real Housewives of Potomac is wrapped. They are, I think they're in pre-production for season 8, and Juan Dixon. I don't know if it's stupidity, lunacy, or what, right? But you guys remember a few weeks ago that there was somebody took a picture of Juan, and he was at a washateer. He was at the laundromat with a woman, right? And the woman did look like Karen, right? So I don't think Karen was lying about that woman in Georgetown that looked like her, because that woman does look like her. And this week, we saw Juan at a nail shop getting a manicure with this woman. I was like, well, damn, he just really don't care. And you forever make Robin Dixon look like a fool. Jesus the Christ. I wonder if she's going to address this on season 8 of Potomac because, girl, this man, I don't know if it's to get back at you for losing that damn money or what, but Jesus the Christ. I hate to say, once a cheater, maybe always a cheater in Juan's case, because, girl, he just gonna forever make you look dumb and foolish and whatnot. But you know what? If Robin likes it, I love it, and I ain't got much else to say about it. But I want you guys to tell me what you guys think about that and all the stories that we discussed this week in Hot Topics, you guys. And that's really it, you guys. So let me, get down in the comment section, you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your post notifications and share the video, you guys. And you guys know we do this every single week. We do this the same time, same place, same channel, same host. And until the next time, you guys, please, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember, to wash your hands, be blessed, and I will see you guys later. So I will see you guys for, so what do we have? Love After Lockup, Ready to Love, Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, No Love and Marriage DC. God. No Love and Marriage DC. We also have Power Book 3, Power Book 2, Ghost. And then Sunday we have a new episode of SWV and Escape, the Queens of R&B. So I will see you guys for all of those. And again, stay safe, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I will see you guys later.